naturally. When acid enters the human body, it disrupts not only one system, it disrupts all systems. So as we have this ulcer, or as we present this ulcer, we are totally unaware that the condition that precipitated the presence of the ulcer has now damaged the brain. But unaware of that, we find that many problem arises that has not been adequately treated. So we are proud to present to you and the rest of the world from Honduras the African biomineral balance. Meaning to electrify the system. We learn from our ancestors, we learn from our mothers and fathers from the continent, that when it drips in the house, you don't put a bucket to catch the drip. You close the hole in the roof. And it is the dripping in the house that was treated. But it kept on dripping. But if you close the hole in the roof, then you have stopped the drip and placing of the bucket. So in understanding what is the African biomineral balance, it is closing the hole in the roof. Cleansing away the toxin that has accumulated over the period of years. Cleansing it out. At the same time, the biomineral balance offers electric food. Today, we're going to take our time and show you 3 items that is these 3 items that we will present to you today that plays a very important role in our method of healing and the properties used. One is the thermal waters that we have to offer, which are very curative because it contains a high concentration of phosphorus, sulfur, iron, opium, gold, and every other mineral that you could possibly think of in Mother Nature, all is in that water, making it highly curative. The other is the blue vervain. The blue vervain has always been one of my favorite plants in addressing prostatitis and the central nerve system. We will show you the other one, the sauco and the berries that we make some of our compounds out of. So we're going to go and take a little walk to show the thermal waters. These are the thermal waters. These waters come out of the ground at the temperature of 210 degrees Fahrenheit. Sometime above boiling point, sometime a little below, which, you know, 212 is the boiling point. But this water has known to cure instantly nerve condition, nerve problem. We have Kaposis sarcoma. In the case of AIDS, people come here with these vicious sores, as they're called, Kaposis sarcoma. And in 4 days, those sores disappear. This is crystal clear. Make no mistake. that in the United States there are parts that there are health centers that offers what they call hot springs. Now, we don't offer any hot springs here. Hot springs only means that water is flowing over a hotbed, but it does not contain the minerals that you find in a thermal spring that is the result of volcanic activity. Well, here in Central America, we have over 50 volcanoes, and we sit in the middle of them. So naturally, we're going to receive the benefit of such presence of the volcanoes. So here we have the result, the thermal waters that the Usha Research Institute has to offer. Here is a plant in front of us that is known in Central America by the Spanish-speaking Indians. They call him sauco. Sauco is a plant that in the berries we find that the mineral of iron is found. Iron phosphate is found in these berries, and these berries are responsible for us reversing a lot of diseases that sits in the blood. It contains iron phosphate. This plant, the sauco, when it sends its roots into the ground, it converts that oxide mineral into a liquid digestible substance the process is known as iontrophoresis, or the conversion from a solid to a liquid. And here Mother Nature has converted iron, which is solid, into a berry for you to enjoy. And over here, we find now that the flower, unlike the berries that contain iron phosphate, the flower now is a different chemistry. Here we have potassium phosphate. When the children here in Central America has fever, rest assured that the mother would come here and ask me to give them some of the flower of the sauco to remove the fever, because it means that inflammation is sitting someplace in the body, and this is extremely effective because of its high content of iron and potassium phosphate, the sauco. Yes, here we have, out of the bowels of Mother Nature, another gift for us. One of the most beautifulest plants in the world. I mean, it has these beautiful flowers, purple flowers and green leaves. If I was an artist, I would have never integrated both, but look at what Mother Nature's doing. This plant is responsible for many, many, many things. First, just go to the central nervous system and the prostate gland. This plant is effective not only in the prostate gland of men, but in the reproductive organs of women. This plant, to me, is one of the most valuable plants. But it has a little secret, if there's such a thing, which I don't like to use the word, but it's something that should be known, that the blue vervain, as it is called, and rightfully so, the blue vervain. The blue vervain is a plant that you have to be careful in processing fresh every day. The roots could last a long time, about 6 months. And this is one of the things that we find in the United States, that because of our brothers and sisters do not get the fresh herbs, it prevents them from reaching that goal that they're seeking. And I really do believe that our brothers and sisters in the United States are really trying to do their best and trying to see how they could help, because it is impossible for me to think that a black man that belongs to the black race, a member of the black race then, would deliberately take upon themselves the position to destroy us by recommending things that does not work. No, that is not their position. We know that. We know they mean well. But because they do not have the privilege of using plants like this one, fresh, so it will become effective. So this plant contains, again, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, but one of the things that I like a bit of it, it contains zinc and also potassium phosphate. So it appeals to the central nervous system because of the potassium phosphate, which fights inflammation and treats the nervous system, and iron fluorine, which, again, addresses the blood, the blue vervain.